Over the course of the 20th century, sea levels across the globe rose faster than in any of the previous 29 centuries. Scientists discovered that the 5.5-inch, 14 centimeters, global rise is at least twice as much as would have been seen without global warming. In fact, they believe levels might have actually fallen if it hadn't been for soaring global temperatures. The 20th century rise was extraordinary in the context of the last 3 millennia, and the rise over the last 2 decades has been even faster, said Professor Robert Kopp, lead author of the report published in the Proceedings of the U.S. National Academy of Sciences. The pattern was revealed by a new statistical analysis technique which extracts global data from local records. No local record measures global sea level. Instead, each measures sea level at a particular location, where it will differ from the global mean. The statistical challenge is to pull out the global signal. The scientists built a database of geological sea level indicators from marshes, coral atolls, and archaeological sites at 24 locations around the world, covering the past 3,000 years. They also looked at tide gauge recordings for the last 300 years from 66 other locations. Many of the records came from the field work of Kemp, Horton, or team members Roland Girls of the University of York and Jeffrey Donnelly of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. This information was used to calculate how temperatures relate to the rate of sea level change. Using this new technique, the researchers showed that the world's sea level fell by about 11 inches, 8 centimeters, between 1000 and 1400 AD, when the planet cooled by about 0.2 degrees Celsius. Global average temperature today is about 1 degree Celsius higher than at the end of the 19th century. It also found that, had global warming not occurred in the 20th century, the change in sea level would very likely have been between a decrease of 1.1 inch, 3 centimeters, and a rise of 2.8 inches, 7 centimeters. Instead, the world actually saw a rise of 14 centimeters. A companion report also found that more than half of the 8,000 coastal nuisance floods observed at U.S. tide gauge sites since 1950 would not have occurred. Professor Kopp estimates that sea levels will rise by 20 inches to 51 inches, 50 centimeters to 130 centimeters, in the 21st century, if the world continues to rely on fossil fuels. However, it will only rise by 10 inches to 23.5 inches, 25 centimeters to 60 centimeters, if fossil fuels are phased out. Anthropogenic sea level rise poses challenges to coastal areas worldwide, and robust projections are needed to assess options, explain the researchers. Here we present an approach that combines information about the equilibrium sea level response to global warming and last century's observed contribution from the individual components to constrain projections for the century. While applying semi-empirical methodology, our method yields sea level projections that overlap with the process-based estimates of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change.